Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Blodger Show. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and I want to welcome you to this bonus episode. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this bonus episode. Today's topic for this episode is going to be pretty much random, spontaneous, real talk. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. I apologize. We're supposed to have a real talk episode on Tuesday. Apologies again. So I'm grabbing a quick drink. I'm one of those. I don't know if you guys have the same issue, but every so often when you get that little feeling like you're gonna sneeze, like the itch and the little tickle in your nose or whatever. And sometimes taking a sip of water actually helps me to make that possibility to kind of like subside a little bit. So I'm like, things going on with me right now. I really, really don't want to sneeze because like I have some back issues because of different injuries that I've experienced, but especially one that I had experienced in the military, which of course that's why I got a good old primary care with VA or whatever because of me having disability from them or whatever. But every so often what happens is like best way I can describe it is like I'd be trying to like walk through like a narrow entryway that might be, let's say there might be like a shelf sticking out, and so I might try to like squeeze through, and if I'm not careful and I end up like, let's say I bump my shoulder on one like on the entryway or something, then I might feel a little bit of a in my back, and I'm like, oh crap, and it might not hurt right away, but usually after something like that happens, then after a little while, all of a sudden like I'm having these little minor back spasms in one side of my back. And it usually lasts, I usually just do the best I can and try to be as careful as I can, try not to overdo it. And usually after about at least a couple weeks, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks, if I can, be as careful as possible. And like anytime I do have off, just try to not really do much of anything. Then after a short amount of time, it'll get better. The pain, like the spasms and the pain will go away, and I'll feel normal again. Until of course I do something else that causes it, like bump into something else, or if I'm clumsy and I trip and fall, that'll do it. Anything that basically makes my back just re-aggravates, and it's like, this sucks. So I'm dealing with that right now. Got like minor spasms on the right side of my back, and I'm like, I don't even know what I did to re-aggravate it, but apparently I did something because like the past week or so I've been dealing with the minor pain and discomfort. I've been careful enough that it's not like all the time. Like I feel it right now, even just sitting here in the seat while going down, while doing my job out here. But done, instead of just, usually because of my back, I usually prefer to do like one trip, like pick up a set of loaded trailers, do one trip, and then drop those, pick up another set, and head back. But tonight, I've done what they call shuttles, so I've done like shorter trips. So like yesterday, I went between Nashville and Mount Juliet probably at least 3 times. Not too long of a trip, it's like half hour each direction, so we figure a little over an hour, like hour and a half total for that load, there and back or whatever. And then after that, I basically called 2 different hubs. Basically was like, hey, like I still have a bunch of hours. You guys need any additional help? And they're like, oh no, we're good. Okay. So I went home. And then tonight, I was told I was probably going to be doing a Huntsville, and so I was like, oh crap, alright. I was like, am I doing a double Huntsville, or he's like, I don't think so, I think you're just doing Huntsville and some other stuff. Like, alright, but I came in and basically the line haul guy told me that, he said, oh no, I'm going to have you do some local, run some local loads for us, and then I might have you do a chat run later on. I said, I'm cool with that, but I was like, you're not talking like, a longer run at like 3 or 4 in the morning, right? He goes, no, of course not. Oh, okay, cool, It was weird because like, first load he was gonna have me do was like so I brought a set of doubles over, a set of empty doubles from Nashville over to Lebanon. And then I ran a loaded 53 over to Mount Juliet, and then empty 53 back to Lebanon. And then when I got back, of course, it didn't show anything, so I had to call him again, like, hey man, I just got back. What's next? Oh, okay, I'll put you in there. Like, okay, cool. So another loaded 53, going back over to Mount Juliet. Got over there, didn't have anything assigned for empty to go back, so I had to call him again, like, hey, I got the hubs mixed around because he had said something about chat, so I was thinking about chat at that time, so when I called, I was like, yeah, can you set me up to bring an empty back from East Chat? He's yeah. He said, wait a minute, who is this? I'm like, it's Logical. Oh, you mean East Nash? I'm like, yeah. I was like, sorry, you said chat earlier, so he's, it was on your brain, I guess. I was like, yeah, pretty much. So he's, all right, I'm gonna get you set up. All right, cool. Like, what else do you have? You have me doing back here to East Nash a couple times, Well, I have a Nashville, I have a Clarksville, and I have Murfreesboro. And he's like, so whatever you want, really, And I was like, well, I basically was like, well, if you have singles, I was like, I'll do singles all day long because it's easy. You come in there, you drop your other trailer, you hook up to your one loaded trailer you're taking, dispatch yourself and go, and first like set of doubles. Goes, oh, so you like singles? I was like, yeah, I prefer those if possible, especially with my back. I don't, the more stuff I have to lift and, manhandle, the more the different injuries the permanent medical issues I have, the more I gotta deal with those, so that's kind of why I left my previous contractor with FedEx and came over to the current one, because previous one I was basically taking empty trailers to customers and bringing loaded ones back, so like I did 7 of those a day, so I was in and out of the truck quite a bit throughout the day, cranking up landing gear, cranking down landing gear, hooking up airlines, all that stuff, like quite a bit each day. And after having that slip and fall I did down a flight of stairs because of the ice when I was with him, I was out for quite a while with that, and I'm pretty sure it's probably why I have some of the back problems I do. So being able to get in and just drive, that's, or mostly just drive, that I prefer that, because that way I'm not doing the physical work and making my back, just get aggravated, But of course, then I have days like today where I'm done even though I've done singles, I've still been in and out of the truck. I've done multiple trailers, and so my back's feeling it a little bit right now. But thankfully, my wife has these muscle relaxers at home that are actually, she's been on muscle relaxers before that actually made her loopy as hell. Like, you would think that she, had a few shots of a Fireball or something. But these ones, she actually stuck the bottle up near where, I take my, all my prescription stuff before I go to sleep. Blood pressure meds, cholesterol and whatnot, She put these, muscle relaxers up near where my meds are, because these ones actually you can take. Apparently you can take these and still work. Like they don't affect you. They don't make you loopy or whatever. They just help with the relax the muscles so you're not spasming or whatever. So I've been taking one or two of those a couple times a day. Which I've noticed that normally with stuff like that I don't know. I might not notice much of a difference. But I have noticed that when it doesn't last very long, but I'll take two of those. So you can take one or two of these up 4 times a day. All right, cool. So I'll take 2 of them, and I'll notice a little bit with my back, but otherwise I'll feel pretty good. But then after it's been a while, I'll notice that it's not like an active spasm. It's just it's kind of like minor. You barely twist and you feel a little pain in your back, whatever. I was like, oh, okay, that hurts. Shit. And what sucks is the fact that we're at peak, so working 6 days a week instead of 5 for the next couple weeks. I'm like, I could really use a couple days off in a row and literally just sit around and not do a whole lot of anything. And by the time I go back to work, my back would actually feel a lot better because I would have given it time to rest. But I can't do that, so I just have to I just gotta push through, Not much I can do about it. But so before I continue, I want to at least let you guys know, as of course, I apologize for the fact that there wasn't a real talk episode. That was I kind of screwed up. I do have a episode recorded, 119 or whatever. But last week, because of the last few weeks, I've been getting, it had been a while since I'd backed up files on my phone, saved them to a external drive to then clear stuff off my phone so I would actually have some more room. And usually the majority of it is either videos or audio files. Especially audio files because of the fact that I record the podcast with the headset, but with my phone, but I've been getting that alert saying, like, your memory is low, like, certain functions might not work. It's like, oh, crap, alright. So last weekend, I kind of set a reminder on my phone, like, hey, don't forget to back up, your files. So I think it was like Monday night, the night before going back to work, I went ahead and got my external hard drive out, which, I don't think I'm ever going to fill it up because it's literally like this little thumb drive that I can't even find online anymore. 4 terabytes of room on it. So I'm like, yeah, my phone is 125 gigs for how much space it has on it. So I'm like, yeah, I could, I think that's like 40. I could back up my entire phone like 40 times probably, I think. Yeah, I guess 10 times would be 1 terabyte. So I could back up my entire phone's total allowed volume 40 times before I would fill it up. And usually when I back up files, I'm not backing up the entire phone. I'm usually like, I backed up pretty much all the audio, and it ended up being about 20 gigs. So then I went in there and deleted all the audio, especially like most of it was basically like podcast episodes. So you know, with some other audio and stuff in there, but for the most part, it was just podcast episodes. And I thought I made sure to like not delete important, you know, like there's some audio files that were like sound effects, you know, that came with the phone, you know, that were already on the phone. So I try not to delete those. Other things like the intros and stuff for like, you know, for like bonus episode intro, real talk intro, Storytime Friday intro, the ones that I've already got set up. I didn't want to delete those because I kind of need those for when I do my edits for the episodes and stuff. But so I did those, and then like literally Tuesday, I was out here, and I think it was at Nashville. Actually, I was getting ready to hook up and take off with that load, and I paused for a second before I left. I thought, well, let me go ahead and get that episode edited really quick and get it uploaded, so that way it's ready to go. So Tuesday would have had an episode posting at 5:15 like normal. Only I would, you know, when I went to bring that file up, because it still showed the file, but it said 0 for the size. I was like, that's weird. So I tried to hit play on it, and it was like that file does not exist or has been deleted. And I had to think about it for a second, like, what the heck? Like, oh crap! So I realized, I was like, oh crap, I deleted that, or I must have deleted that one off my phone along with the other files when I backed them up on the drive. So I still have it. I just have to, you know, actually, you know, as it's a little bit of a process. Like to plug that into my phone, I have to literally take my phone fully out of the OtterBox because the plug won't actually plug into my phone completely. You know, because it's got a little bit of a wider base to it, so if I don't have the OtterBox on, I can literally plug it in just fine, but with the case on, it doesn't want to fully plug in, so I can't actually connect it to the drive. So that's on my list. Like I gotta basically, you know, find time to get that out, take the phone out of the case, plug it in, scroll through that drive, find that file, resave it back to my phone. So that way I can go ahead and do the edits and get it uploaded. So I've been thinking for the past couple days I wanted to come on here and probably do at least one bonus episode to kind of let you guys know what was going on, because I've had it recorded. I had fully intended on having that uploaded by Tuesday, and then of course I realized that I had screwed up. So I was like, well, shit, alright, you know. So, but, so that's pretty much what kind of went on this week. Aside from that, I've got this, actually found this, like a program kind of, that kind of help, like it provides you with forms and community and stuff that can help with like cleaning up your credit report and being able to boost your score and, you know, basically put yourself in a position where you can either get lines of credit, start a business, or be in the position to actually be able to get a house at a pretty low interest rate, or get a car at a pretty low interest rate and stuff like that. Now this isn't something that, by telling you guys about it, that like, cause there's no like referral, nothing like that, where like, if I tell you guys about it and you join, that, hey, I make a bonus. Nope, nothing like that. It's just literally like, I've told a couple of my friends about it already, and they're like, do you get a referral bonus? I'm like, no, this is just something that I found that I actually paid to join to have access to the stuff, and I've already basically, if you go to, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's called creditsense.com. You guys give me just a second. Creditsecrets.com. I figured it didn't sound like, or, you know, was saying credit sense, I was like, I'm pretty sure that didn't sound right, you know. I'm like, I better let me check that real quick. So you go to Credit Secrets, CreditSecrets, CreditSecrets.com. I know eventually they say, oh, the price is gonna go up to like $195, but I think currently it was like $29 to gain access, and I did pay a little bit of an upsell. You know when you buy something online, a lot of times they'll have an upsell. Like, oh, you can get this extra perk, extra bonus for this much. I did do one upsell, you know, to kind of, because they have what they call an accelerator that actually helps you fill out forms to mail off to creditors or to the credit bureaus and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm going through that right now. I actually mailed off the first letter. It was like they call it the jumpstart letter, kind of, to basically to send off to the bureau, to all three of the agencies, to basically, you know, make sure your information is correct. And then you should see like from what I heard, that when they just with them updating your information, that you should see a credit score boost even with that. So I'm like, I mailed it off last Monday. The tracking information said that the credit bureaus would have received it on Friday. That was at, I mean, technically right now, as of the time of this recording, it's 4 a.m. on Sunday, but when I came in on, that's why I say, for me, yesterday, but technically right now, yesterday was Saturday, so. So I mean, my buddy Dave, you know, from that other trucker and other aspiring author, you know, friend of mine, whatever. That's why he and I kind of, he gives me a hard time because like he'll come in at like 3 in the morning, and I'll have been in since technically the night before, and for me it's still the night before. Like I don't. Oh yeah, no. Today's Friday. Like right now for me, today's Saturday, even though it's 4 a.m. Sunday. But for me, it's Saturday. I'll get home. I'll go to sleep. You know, for me, tomorrow is whenever I wake up. I don't know if any of you guys are like that, but that's how I've always been. Even if I'm up for like, if you're up till 4 or 5, you go to bed and be like, all right, night, see you tomorrow. You know, yes, technically it's tomorrow, officially. You know, but I'm always like, nope, tomorrow's when I wake up. unless I end up not going to sleep, which I've had days like that too. Past, but so what I understand, the credit bureaus should have received my form that I filled out on Friday, and I don't know how long, but of course now one of the things that when you join the program is they connect you with this they connect you with at least one of the sites, but apparently like it's one of those like free, kind of like where you get your free credit report, free credit score, but you gotta, you know, basically gotta pay like a monthly membership with them, but you get like the first week for like $1.07. It's like a 7-day trial. So it took me a couple days to get that because it would, for whatever reason, that website wouldn't take my card. And after a while, when I was trying to get it to cooperate with me, then I put my social security number, and it was like, well, we can't verify your identity. I'm like, what the? You kind of get frustrated, but at that point, I'm like, well, I can't do the program unless I can keep a weekly or a monthly tabs on my credit, like watch it, like be able to monitor to see my score go up and down, monitor for stuff to get deleted, you know. And so I actually, one of the times within the last couple of days, I happened to throw my headset on, and I went on that site, and I called customer support, and got a guy on the phone who was kind of explaining to him, like, hey, you know, like I'm going through the process right now of fixing and rebuilding my credit, and you know, I have to obviously be able to monitor my credit to make sure I'm aware of any changes that happen and stuff, so I can be on top of it. But I kind of told him what was going on, and he was like, oh, okay, here, go to, because when you go through the program, the site they recommend is like, I think free, or I think it's like credit 360.com or something, you know. I don't know, but the guy I was talking to was like, well, go to nationalcreditreport.com. That's our main site, and it's the same deal. You know, it's $1.07 for the first 7 days, and then it's like $30 or $39 per month or something. I don't know. I'm like, okay, which is kind of expensive. I don't want to pay that per month, but if you know, hey, if I gotta do it, so that way I can keep tabs on my credit and keep, you know, doing what I gotta do and following the steps and whatnot, you know, then I will do it, you know. But I went on his site or the company's site, and I was able to do it. Which is funny because now if I go on FreeScore or 360.com or whatever, I could actually using the login information I did for National Credit Report, I can log into FreeScore 360, and of course, when it loads the next page, it loads onto National Credit Report. So obviously they're all connected because it's all the same company. So I was like, well, that works. That's cool, you know. So I guess today's topic a little bit will be kind of about credit, because like, you know, because hey, real talk, you know, just keep it real with you, no bullshit, no, not lying, not gonna make stuff up, you know. And I figured I already had 1 or 2 weeks talking about a little bit about political stuff, and of course I'll give you guys a heads up that the episode that I have to download on my phone and get edited and uploaded, that one is a little bit of a political episode as well, so giving you guys a little bit of a heads up on that one. That way, if you don't want to talk politics or whatever, then might want to skip that one. But after Tuesday's episode, after 119 posts, I will obviously, I'm gonna be trying to go back to, you know, just regular real talk and not really talk politics and stuff like that, because, you know, it's one of those things we can't, like I said in previous episodes, that we as a country, we've elected who we've elected, and, you know, like, shit's about to get real, and there's really not much we can do about it. Like, we, you know, we voted, we decided to put, you know, who we did in office, and so now, like, whether you believe it's a good thing or you think it's a bad thing, I guess it really doesn't matter. So, you know, there's no point in starting big debates about it too much. I mean, obviously there might be times where we end up covering something like that during some of these episodes, but for the most part, I'm going to go back to sticking with what I've always said, you know, that I try to steer away from politics and religion a little bit, because pretty controversial topics. Don't, you know, and everybody has different opinions. It's one thing if we could actually, that's why I'm grateful for my bro Ricco, because he and I are pretty opposite on a couple things. Like, not too much opposite on politics. I mean, a little bit different, you know. But religion, he and I are pretty much opposites, you know. But yet, what I appreciate about him, and I wish everybody could do this, but like, he and I literally, we could talk religion, and he'll tell me why he's not really like a big believer in, like, you know, Christ, and, you know, he believes that there is a creator, obviously, you know, but you know, and I'm not gonna go too much into what he believes, because I, again, don't want to go into details. But he and I can go back and forth. Like, he'll be like, well, like, what about this? Such and such. He'll bring up a point. You know, that's actually, you make a really good point. Like, I never thought about that. And I'll be like, well, but what about, then I'll give him a different example. Like, how do you explain such and such? And he'll be like, you know what? I didn't even think about that either. That's actually really good. Like, you know, I can't explain that. And I said, well, so, as a country, whether we believe, whether we have the same apology, that kind of thing. While I'm saying that, I kind of was like, oh crap, I just literally bit my tongue while I was trying to. I hate when don't you hate when that happens? Try to say something for whatever reason. I'm like, ow! Yeah, sorry guys. I kind of just bit my tongue. Thankfully, it was like, just barely got it, so it wasn't like where you bite it and all of a sudden, like, for like 2 days you have like this like little sore on there because, like, you know, kind of made it bleed or whatever. I always appreciate when I'm putting my signal on and there's a car behind me and they flash. They like basically tell me to go ahead and get over. So I flash my lights, basically saying thank you. But yeah, you know, we should be able to, you know, we don't. As like I've actually heard America referred to as we're a big melting pot. Like we're not. You know, we're not all white, not all black, you know, Hispanic, whatever. Like we have a very diverse blend of different kinds of people, you know. And none of us are the same. Some of us might be a little, you know, we might have some things in common. Some of us might have the same beliefs and thoughts or whatever. But a lot of us, you know, we might have similar thoughts, but for the most part, none of us have the exact same viewpoints or thoughts. So, you know, it shouldn't be, well, you don't believe what I believe, so I hate you. Or, you know, like that's stupid. Come on, you know, we gotta like, it's like what is it like in relationships? People say like, well, I don't like, oh, you gotta find somebody that's you know, it's like copy of you. It's like you're perfect for each other. It's like I was like, I don't want a copy of me. I was like, I am already a copy of me. Like I don't need two of me, you know. But you know, so it's like what makes life interesting is when you have people that are different, and we could all even though we're different, we can still, you know, talk about controversial topics, whether it's religion, politics, you know, vaccines, you know, healthcare and whatnot, you know. Hell, I even have friends that are very, very big conspiracy people that have like, oh, this is going on or that's going on, or they have trackers in this, or, you know, or even hell, I have friends that you know, even say that we never landed on the moon, you know, and like, and yet we can talk back and forth. They can be like, well, that's interesting. You might think that, okay, you know. I was like, you know, well, but the point is we can talk about it, you know, like, and we can go back and forth, and it's like they don't hate me because I'm like, I don't agree, but I understand where you're coming from. And they're like, okay, you know. So to give you guys kind of a little bit of if I can give any kind of advice right now and stuff, you know, no matter what's going on in your life and stuff, life's too short, you know. Life's too short to spend your time fighting with people because they don't have the same beliefs. Like my best friend, or one of my best friends, mother, you know, the guy I went to high school with, and actually it was like a roommate with my ex-wife for a little bit. You know, his mom, it's very interesting. I think I've told you guys about this before, where she was very anti-Trump. I mean, I should say she is very anti-Trump. It's like up through the entire election, everything on her wall, everything she posted was basically how, you know, about her dislike of Trump. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the posts made sense because it wasn't stuff that was made up; it was actual factual stuff. And you know, so I would say that I agreed with a lot of stuff that she's posting, but I didn't say, you know, as like online, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, just, it's kind of like when you're in school and like you don't want to stand out, you know, so you're like, I'm gonna keep my head down, my mouth shut, I'm not gonna, you know. Went from like really clear, we could see everywhere to all of a sudden like it is foggy as hell now. So I'm like put my fog lights on and kind of slow down. Like I'm glad there's not many people out here on the road because this is the kind of stuff that I would worry that you'd all of a sudden come roaring up on another car that stopped in the road because you didn't see them. So I was like, oh crap. But so but she would always post anti-Trump stuff, and I guess her relatives, stuff like that, like they had a huge family feud because all her relatives basically were pro-Trump, and would let her know on her post like, oh yeah, Biden this, Biden that, Trump's the best person ever, whatever. And I'm reading the comments and shaking my head, going like, because of course there are a few times where I would like some of the things they're arguing about, like, whoa, like Trump's gonna make things better because gas prices. So I'm the kind of, if I'm gonna argue something, especially when it comes to like something like that, like politics, I'm gonna go find an article and I'm gonna post the article on the comments. Literally, that's what I did, post the article there. So I'm just gonna leave this here. I was like, you know what they say, documentation beats conversation. So I would love to hear what you have to say about this. And I just left it at that. And of course, never got any response. Because I'm like, you know what? If you have something that if you have a point that you're trying to argue, especially when it comes to certain things like important matters, then all I was asking for people online was like, okay, you're claiming this, but you don't have any proof. Like, where's your proof? They're like, well, you must be a Democrat. But no, I'm not necessarily a Democrat. I'm not a Republican either. But I have voted both sides. So I was like, I've given you actual documentation, actual facts, arguing my side. What do you have? And they would still like, basically just talk a bunch of nonsense. It's like, all right, obviously you are just spouting off stuff because, I read it on Facebook. So it's like, you obviously can't back up what you're saying. So, but it's kind of getting off a little rabbit trail there. Point I'm trying to make is basically we should be able to just have discussions and not have people hate because, like, reading her relatives' comments, they're basically lashing out at her saying that how she was stupid because she was a Biden supporter, and it's like, okay, well, she can say you're stupid because you support Trump, but what are we accomplishing by saying that? Hell, I think some of her relatives probably blocked me because of the fact that I posted. There were a couple times where I posted articles basically saying like, what you're saying is incorrect, and here's why. And they basically be like, well, I think I had one person that was trying to argue something because they had read it on Facebook. Facebook news where anybody can post an opinion, and then other people will reshare that because, well, it must be true because I saw it on Facebook. No, well, you gotta actually research to make sure it's accurate, and not just, well, somebody said it, and it's true. Like, little green men are running the White House. Like somebody said on Facebook. It's, oh my God. Did you check that though? So somebody had said something stupid, not about like little green men. That was just a random thing I just came up with off the top of my head. Somebody had said something. I don't even think it was a political thing. I think it was about something with the Olympics or something. Or it might have been politics. Might have been about like the president, the economy, like oh yeah, like whether when people post the pictures that shows the gas pumps and it has a little picture of the president and says I did that. No, they didn't. So and I would post an article, explaining that the fact that the president doesn't really control that. And basically, they jumped all over me like, oh, yeah, whatever, Christopher, like, that's mainstream media, like, you should do better, Christopher. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. I was like, I literally gave you facts, like actual documentation, arguing, proving that what you're on here spouting and shouting from the rooftops is incorrect, and you're still like, you need to do better. It's like, no, you need to do better. Because you're basically posting fake false information on Facebook, trying to convince others that that's true, and so you're in the wrong here. So So I think I ended up blocking that person. I basically said, I'm not gonna, obviously, like, I'm not gonna sit here and debate with you, because if anybody says anything aside from what you're trying to argue, you basically like, oh, you need to do better. Like, how dare you? Like, what I said is fact, and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Like, I literally gave you, like, if somebody gives you proof that you're full of crap, and yet you still stand there and try to fling it around, yeah, you're totally full of crap. But if you want to argue stuff, and you could actually back it up with, like, official documents online that you find, official articles showing that something happened that you're claiming it happened, then I can totally respect that, because hey, you're not just shouting something. You actually like, hey, I believe this, and here's why. Like, I found this. This is okay, cool. It's like my bro Ricco, when we're talking religion or whatever, he's like pointing out different things in the Bible about it that we're trying to argue what he's trying to argue, and I'll be like, okay, cool. Like, I'll read the passage or whatever that he's using to kind of like argue what because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, if this really did happen, then blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay. Like, I'll read the passage, and I'll be like, I totally read that now that I see what you're talking about. I can understand why you feel the way you do, and then I'll give him a different example and basically try to argue kind of what he's, kind of going back and forth. Like, he'll argue something, and then I'll kind of be like, well, yeah, but what about this? And he'll be like, you know what? That's actually a good point. I can't explain it, or I can't explain that. I'm like, okay, cool, But we're able to be civil, and that's what matters, Being able to just sit, talk, whatever, drink a beer, and not get pissed because I might not believe what he does, or him not get pissed because I might not believe the way he does, And honestly, that'd probably be one of my recommendations, honestly. Like, life's too short. There's too much stress in life as it is. So if you have people in your life, no matter if it's family or friends, if you guys can't actually have actual civil conversations, even if you guys don't agree, then probably don't, be those people in your life. Because if people are going to get angry at other people, if people in your life are going to get angry with you because, get pissed off or whatever, because, how dare, like, you should believe how I believe. Like, how dare you actually believe this, such. And, and then basically kick you to the curb. Just like I've heard of there being people that voted for Trump, that their relatives, like grandparents or parents or siblings or friends, have basically gone no contact with them because they might have people in their lives that, like family members or relatives, or children that are gay or whatever, and people that voted for Trump, of course, like a lot of other people could argue that basically those people voted to take away people's rights, to potentially take away the rights that some gay couples have had where they've been married for a while to their partner, and they're being worried that they're gonna lose their marriage or whatever, or hell, like people that might have friends that are like technically undocumented, but they're here paying taxes and working, and it's weird actually. It's like people that it's just weird. So people have got no contact with family members and told them they don't want to have anything to do with them because basically, like, well, you voted for Trump, you voted for all these big changes that are going to happen. A lot of them probably not so good, but they're like, well, you voted for this, so I can't have anything to do with you. Like, I haven't gone that far because I do have friends that I think are, for me, I think they're, I think of them as good friends, but they're very, very much, Trump supporters. And I've even had conversations with them where they're like, oh, things are going to get so much better. And I basically am just like, well, you know, all I can say is as a country, as a whole, we voted him into office. So it's like, if things go to shit, we have nobody to blame but ourselves. And I basically, this friend of mine, I kind of told her, I said, well, you know, in 4 years, I believe we're going to have a different conversation. Honestly, like, cause I'm not, that's part of why I wouldn't want to, I don't know if I'd want to run for office myself, because there's just too much shit, you know, even though there's a part of me that goes, yeah, I would totally run, but I'm not rich, so it's like, I don't think I would get anywhere, because usually see the people that actually can get themselves elected, especially to be a candidate for president, for instance. Which, who knows, if either party comes across my podcast and wants to, you know, sponsor me for being a candidate, hey, I'll do it, you know. But my current financial resources, yeah, I don't think I'd have much of a chance. But talking to my bro Ricco though about it and stuff, I was kind of joking around because I was like, yeah, I don't think I could ever try to get in office because I, you know, don't have the resources to really do it. People that get elected usually are rich and can actually throw millions of dollars into marketing and advertising and getting out there. But he was telling me, he was like, yeah, you know, like, he's like, I don't really care who's in office because they never focus on the lower class where I'm at. It's always the middle and upper class. So I was like, huh, all right. It made me think, because I said, well, at least, like, you know, if I were to ever try to run, that could be one of the points that I campaign on, that I could be like, look, like, I understand that people in the lower class might feel left out because they might not get the help like the middle and upper classes do. Hell, I'm technically in the middle class myself, and I don't really, you know, I can't say I really get help, because if you make even a just a halfway decent yearly salary, you can't really get help from the state, because they'll be like, sorry, you make too much money. It's like, yeah, but I'm paying like $2,300 or $2,200 rent every month, you know. But yeah, even if you make a little bit, you make too much money. So it's like, well, I think I had to be fully unemployed, and then I technically was able to get food stamps and stuff, and got unemployment or whatever. Actually, that's the funny thing, is I had food stamps for a while when way back when we lived in Iowa, and then I got laid off my job, and I, you know, got on unemployment, and all of a sudden I lost the food stamps, because even though unemployment was the same amount I was making per week with my job previously, once I started getting that assistance, all of a sudden I was making too much money and didn't get the food stamps anymore. And I'm like, I'm making the same as I was before. That was weird, but hey, you know. So anyway, guys, kind of rambled on you guys a little bit today, but there may or may not be another bonus episode before you guys see the Tuesday's Real Talk, because my plan is to get this one, and if I do another one, to get both those bonus episodes, you know, edited and go ahead and upload them immediately, so that way they'll be available right away. It gave you something to look forward to too. When you see these bonus episodes, you know that that Real Talk, the next, and hopefully the last political one for a little while, you know. I'll try to steer away from that a little bit, but yeah. So yeah, normally by tonight I'm all like, woohoo, my last day of the week. But nope, I have to work Sunday too, and then I'm off Monday, and then back to work Tuesday. And I guess on the plus side is, I guess, even though I'm not getting my regular 2 days off, I know that I'll have just pass something in the road. It's always interesting when you end up passing something in the road, but you kind of see indications of it beforehand. Like, you see all of a sudden there's a red trail for like 150 feet, and then all of a sudden then you see the roadkill, like somebody hit it, dragged it, or whatever. It was like, oh, yeah. But kind of lost my train of thought there. So, but anyway, guys, you know, as always, there'll be some links in the show notes for the episode for a couple of different opportunities that I'm still doing. Also, I usually include links for Ricco's podcast, because he has done at least one or two new episodes, and he's continually working on creating his songs that he does. Makes his own beats, comes up with his own lyrics and stuff, so it's pretty awesome. So check that out. Blogitshow.com/Ricco, RICCO. Anybody that wants to support the show, every little bit helps. Definitely helps to keep the show up and running, be able to cover the hosting costs and whatnot. But anybody that wants to support the show, go to blogitshow.com/support. Or if you can't financially support, I definitely appreciate it if you any 5-star ratings, and tell your friends, let people know, share the podcast with them. That way the podcast continues to grow. Now one of the ones I'm listening to right now, which I also have as a link in the show notes, because I try to recommend a couple of different podcasts that I'm a big fan of. The current one I'm listening to is called Crime Junkie. That one is pretty awesome. You definitely, you kind of learn some life rules as far as like trying to stay safe. Like their motto is be weird, be rude, stay alive. It's basically like, don't, if somebody weird, somebody odd approaches you, whatever, like, hey, want to come with me, whatever. And basically, if they give you a weird vibe, be like, no, fuck off. And walk away. So, but, listening to her podcast, now I think she has a couple million listeners. And so she's written like 1 or 2 books, and they donated a lot to different organizations that help with cold cases and whatnot. So I see the size of her of that podcast following or whatever, and I'm like, I've had like I don't think I've even crested 2,000 downloads since I started this podcast. I'm grateful whenever I get an episode posted and I see like 5, 6, 7, 8 downloads on. Well, that was interesting. Literally, like, I was probably the closest I've come to hitting a deer, because like this deer was just standing off, technically on the shoulder, like just past the line. So when I passed it, I was probably like 2 feet away from the deer, and it was just standing there looking. And it was like, please stay over there. I don't want to hit you, Knock on wood, I've actually never hit a deer, but I've come close, Usually I've been able to see them before, or see them in time where I can kind of veer off a little bit. They tell us, as a professional driver, that they basically say, do not swerve to miss an animal, that just if anything, brake and barrel down, just if you have to hit it, you have to hit it. But I've had one that was right in the middle of the road, or like right on the line, and the part that scared me was I had a truck passing me at the time, and we literally both passed this deer standing in between us, and it was standing in a way that we both passed beside it without hitting it. And I'm like, I hope it gets off the road, as I've seen it before, where going down the road, and I saw, it was one of those where like where you're on 2 lanes going one direction, but there's nothing, like there's just open grass in the middle, and then you see the 2 lanes go the other direction. A deer crossed in front of me within like 100 feet, and I watched as it ran through the median, and then it ran right in front of a little sedan or whatever, like going the other direction, and you heard the loud little like pop as the car hit the deer, and the deer literally went probably about 15 to 20 feet up in the air, flipped a couple times, and then landed back on the road. And I don't know what all came off the deer, but when it hit the road, I saw parts fly different directions, and I was like, oh crap. I was like, yeah, you ain't getting up from that. So if you're a driver out there, be careful, you know, because stuff like that can happen, and you know, it's dangerous. But anyway, guys, on that note, you know what I always say, keep pushing forward, keep believing, believe you can, believe you will, and you're already halfway there, and then you just have to go out there and do it. And you know, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Again, if you like what you hear, you know, if you like keeping it real here on the Blodgett Show, whatever, feel free to tell your friends, you know, and just let people know about me. But on that note, I appreciate you guys. I'll let you go. Like I said, I'll probably I'm tired, it's late in the night, so there may possibly be another bonus episode after this. And then, of course, like I do plan to get that episode re-downloaded back to my phone so I can get the Real Talk episode edited and uploaded for you guys. So, but again, so that website I was telling you guys about, if you want to work on getting your credit back up there without paying somebody to do it for you, creditsecrets.com. And again, to support the show, blodgettshow.com/support. Really quickly throwing out the other podcasts, Crime Junkie, which I believe you can go to, I think it's crimejunkiepodcast.com. What Was That Like podcast with Scott Johnson. There's Lore, Lore, that's a really good one. And Dream Sequence, that's a pretty cool one. It's got 10 episodes with that one, and then you know, it's like a little short story type podcast. But just thought I'd throw a couple different options out there, for you guys to keep you guys entertained, whatever. You know, especially while you wait for new episodes for the Blodgett Show to post, you can check out those other shows. But show some love to them, especially Crime Junkie. That's definitely probably my new favorite. I think I'm back in like 2022, still working my way through, you know, binge listening from the very beginning. So I think I'm still a few years behind right now. So, but anyway, you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you either on the bonus episode or on the next Real Talk episode. But again, as always, appreciate you. God bless, and I will talk to you in the next one. Have a good one.